Of all the pickups on the market right now, Ford's Ranger Thunder comes closest to feeling like a regular car, which is some triumph given how tough and capable the entire package is when it comes to towing. Everything from motorway refinement to traction is superb, but what really stands out is just how comfortable the Thunder is. The lack of road and engine noise helps, both actively cancelled by a clever digital system, but it's the way it remains unflustered by lumpy tarmac that means this one truck is a genuinely suitable use for as an everyday car. It's not quite as nimble in the corners as a conventional SUV, but it never feels out of its depth on a country road either, something the 2-litre engine certainly helps with. As it not only delivers plenty of performance, it's also a big reduction in weight over the front wheels. The 10-speed auto is a further triumph. It's smooth in the Thunder. There are no paddle shifters on the steering wheel, but that's not a problem. The gearbox does such a good job all by itself. The sport mode is worthy of a name too, holding onto gears longer and downshifting earlier when required. All part of a well-engineered package that's happy to step up whenever you want to drive faster. Driving the Ranger Thunder means that you've got excellent visibility. You really see over all the sea of SUVs on the road, and you need to consider its length, but it really is very easy to maneuver around the roads, tight bends. This thing is meant to be parked in awkward positions, so it's got a good turning lock, and you've got a reversing camera on it as well, which is great. You also have Apple CarPlay, which hooks up very easily using the sync system, and as always works very well. So while you do feel that you're driving a big heavy vehicle, it's not that difficult, and it does make things a lot easier. With that flat load bay in the back, you're meant to fit big, heavy, awkward objects, but it can be a little bit awkward with the split divider. So you can bring it forward if you want to just put in, say, maybe shopping bags, something like that. Now, there's no shopping hooks, but if you want to bring that divide forward, you can shorten the length of the bay, but it means that sometimes putting in items makes it a little bit more awkward because it kind of takes away from the space. You can also leave the flatbed wide open to fit in those awkward objects. It really is a great driving experience, and they've come on so much with the Ranger range. It handles lumps and bumps very well, but it's not meant to do corners at speed. So there is a lot of body roll, but it's meant to have that in the suspension. It's not the Raptor. The Raptor is the sportier version, and if that's what you want, a real lifestyle SUV type vehicle that's a bit more utilitarian, go for that, but you will pay more for it. The Thunder has great looking outside additions as well as inside. So you'll see the stitching here behind me on the seat. It's really nice. It's followed by the stitching all around the steering wheel. Very, very comfortable place to sit. You've got easy to reach adjustment settings down here on the side. It's all electric. So that means that you can get your exact driving position. You can glide along, but you need to get there first, so it does take a little bit of a punch of the accelerator, wake up the beast. You hear that diesel engine roar, but once you're on the road, it absolutely flies along. You do get looks driving around in a big pickup, and you don't really notice the size when you're out in the wide open country, but once you get into the cities, that's when you notice its size the most. But as I say, it's very easy to park and very easy to drive, so I wouldn't worry about it too much. And if you're going to be in and out of shopping centres, maybe this isn't the car for you. You've got a simple dash in front of you, which is a mix of some digital and mostly analog dials. You've got two sides to it, and these can be changed with a limited selection. On the right, I've got my speed, and on the left, I've got my radio. And by the way, for some strange reason, the radio in this pickup only plays country. Don't ask me why. Those big 18s really soak up the lumps and bumps, and it's a very capable car. I've been looking around at its competition, the Nissan Navara, the Toyota Hilux, as well as the Mercedes X-Class. Ford is an accomplished truck manufacturer. Ford's Ranger Thunder is an accomplished pickup. It offers reasonable value starting at €49,000. This auto model is 10 grand more than a Wildtrak, and the Raptor ups the ante and starts at around €63,000. But unlike that model, the Thunder is able to carry a 1-ton payload, so it's still classed as a commercial vehicle. One area where the Ranger has the measure of its rivals is its ride. The front suspension does most of the work to keep occupants comfortable, and it absorbs all but the worst bumps, while the truck's high ride height means you're able to sweep across speed bumps without unsettling the passengers or holding up the traffic. It's thanks to the stiff rear suspension which helps it cope with a 1-ton payload. The Ranger meets this weight requirement, but the suspension is noticeably more settled when empty. As a result, the big Ford's ride is near SUV-like. It's not quite as resolved as the now defunct Mercedes X-Class, but only the recently revised Toyota Hilux comes even close to matching it. Using the same gearbox found in the Mustang, it easily handles all of the Ranger's power, or 500 Newton meters of torque. It rarely if ever shifts into 9th or 10th gear, even on the motorway, but it's good to know you have that bit extra. It kicks down smoothly when demanding more power, and it shifts up through the gears without fuss too. The punchy 210 brake horsepower diesel is an accomplished and powerful 4-cylinder unit, and while the optional 10-speed auto may seem like overkill, it takes the strain out of driving and off the engine too. The Thunder is packed with kit, but also gets some unique styling flourishes. This helps it to stand out. There's the sea grey metallic paint, which is complemented by the black 18-inch alloy wheels and gloss black plastic trim with red details. This also includes red nostrils for the grille. Further back, the aero bar and the pickup add subtle red stripes and LED bed lighting, while the red Thunder badges on the doors and rear tailgate complete the exterior revisions. Inside the Ranger Thunder, it gets black leather seats with red stitching, while red thread is also around the steering wheel and on top of the dash. All are trimmed in leather as well. Standard kit is the same as you'll find on a Ranger Wildtrak, so this pickup is as well equipped as a top spec SUV, while the cabin quality is on a par with that of a family 4x4 and far removed from the Ranger's commercial vehicle roots. The Ranger Thunder is an ideal choice for buyers looking for a unique pickup that offers a bit more style than a Wildtrak. It delivers a decent driving experience and has a similar level of kit to the Wildtrak, while the black and red editions create a very distinctive look for only a little more over the Wildtrak version.